However, I don't really have a great answer for your question because I really don't give a like, honestly. I want to coach the Lakers. I want to coach the team. I don't want to dispel anything. I don't. I want to become a great coach in the NBA, and I want to win championships, and I want my players to maximize their careers. That's all I care about.
JJ, you're talking a lot about two or three guys, getting them to put in the effort. You talked a lot about wanting to play hard and LeBron being the guy that played hard in tonight's game. How do you address that with the team? What's your philosophy for approaching that?
I just did.
Being a player and being coached by some of the best minds that played, right? Even Coach K, you know, you talking about Coach K, Doc, Stan Van Gundy, right? So he already has blueprints of X's and O's, what to do out of timeouts, like, and then as a player who played a long time, he understands like situations, right? You can't talk to someone like him about not running the floor, because that's all he did. Not being in shape, not looking fit, not eating, like, he's one of those players you cannot have an excuse for, not getting shots up before the game, after the game.
I think his start has been very impressive. You know, I think he's, like, that team has bought into him, and they trust him, and they believe in him. And I think that's one of the biggest things, especially when you have a mega star like LeBron and Anthony Davis on your side, and those guys buy into you from jump. Says a lot about his presence there. I saw one of the videos of them doing like guards versus bigs.
Send in a request for the league tomorrow that we can play with worn-in basketballs. I'm not sure why we're playing in real games. I'm being dead serious. I'm not sure why we're playing in real games with brand new basketballs. Anybody who's ever touched an NBA ball brand new, it's a different feel and touch than a worn-in basketball. I didn't realize it till a timeout. There was a long rebound. I grabbed it. I was like, what? Why are we playing with this ball? Give the guys the opportunity to pick a good basketball. You think I'm joking?
No, I'm positive.
I'm neurotic.
I'm positive you're not joking.
It's always championship or bust in LA. Those are the expectations. Time will tell if the Lakers raise banner number 18 sooner rather than later. But new coach JJ Redick looks like he's already kickstarted the team. Under previous coach Darvin Ham, the Lakers often felt stale. They were predictable. But under Reddick, they're already showing signs of being a fun team to watch. What are they doing that could put the whole league on notice? And what does the rest of the league think? Stay tuned and find out. JJ Redick is one of the most unique head coaching hires in NBA history. Despite playing in the NBA for over 15 years with 6 different teams, this is his first real head coaching job. Usually it's a massive risk to hire someone who has no previous coaching experience, especially in a league with as much history as the NBA. Add in the amount of pressure on any coach to succeed in LA, and JJ might be in trouble. But Rob Pelinka and the Lakers front office were willing to give him a shot. After 2 subpar seasons under Darvin Ham, the Lakers wanted to shake things up, and they believed enough in JJ's basketball IQ and ability to be a player's coach to take a chance on him.
Down by a point, Reddick and Embiid on the far wing. JJ fires, 3 ball, is good! He did it! JJ Redick pours in a 3!
At his introductory press conference back in June, JJ made it clear what his approach was going to be and what his expectations were. Take a listen.
The game is evolving, and it's evolving fast. And one of the things in coaching that I think you have to be is adaptable. You have to be adaptable to your roster. You have to be adaptable in game planning against your opponent. And that's one of the things I really will strive to be. Lastly, I just want to say, like, sitting in this seat, I know what the expectations are. Lakers fans have some of the most passionate fans around the world, and the expectation is a championship. And so it's my job, it's our staff's job, it's Rob's job, it's all of us to deliver a championship caliber team. That's what I signed up for.
JJ is aggressive. He's expecting to compete for and win NBA championships with the Lakers right away. Anything less than that is a failure to him. But he's also willing to do whatever it takes to win, and that includes adapting when things aren't going as planned. Some coaches might be stubborn or set in their ways, but like JJ said, the NBA is a game constantly evolving, and that's how the Lakers are going to play. Fluid, constantly in motion, shifting to match their opponent switch for switch. How's that going to help them compete for and win titles? Let's dive deep into the mind of a guy who knows his X's and O's. If you've ever watched your team play hero ball, you know how frustrating it is. You know what I'm talking about. Classic ISO ball that's straight up stale. The team's point guard brings the ball up court, tosses the rock to the star player, and then the point guard and the other three players just stand around watching him as the shot clock winds down. JJ Redick's new offense with the Lakers is anything but stale. It's dynamic and constantly flowing, and it's built on extra actions and extra passes as LA tries to get the opposing defense out of position. And who better to test this system than one of the NBA's best defensive teams, the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Wolves are led on that end of the floor by Rudy Gobert, 3-time All-Star and 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. But it didn't matter if Rudy or anyone else played their best on D. They were no match once the Lake Show got rolling. In JJ Redick's new offense, it's critical that every Lakers player has several different options at their disposal. The offense is built on not only constant movement, but also on taking several well-placed threes. These Lakers aren't trying to copy Steph and the Warriors dynasty. Even though they're talented shooters, LA doesn't have the luxury of just jacking up threes every night. Every move to get a good look for the best shot has a lot of moving parts. The machine never stops. Let's dive deeper into some of these three-point looks. Like we said earlier, this revamped Lakers offense depends on screens, constant movements, and keeping opponents on their toes. In this play from the second quarter of the opening game against the Wolves, you'll be able to see why this Lakers offense has the potential to be straight up nasty. As you can see here in this play, 3 screens develop in a matter of a couple seconds. LeBron sets a screen for D'Angelo Russell and then works toward the basket. Lakers center Jackson Hayes sets a screen for Connect, who then moves behind him and stops and pops for a 3. Some teams might make several extra passes to find the best looks from downtown, but in those kinds of offenses, the main key is ball movement. In JJ Redick's new offense, the entire team moves, rotates, and finds their spots. This prevents even the league's best defense from completely pinning the Lakers down or making them one-dimensional. Someone is always moving, and the defense needs to be close to perfect when it comes to staying with their man. If an opponent makes one wrong move or switches off on the wrong guy, that's a perfect opportunity for the Lakers to torch them. Here's another example of that movement from opening night against the Wolves. In this play, late in the first quarter, Anthony Davis hands the ball off to Gabe Vincent. This immediately sets the two-man game in motion. The Wolves can't just single out the guy with the ball, they also have to stay with the man who's off the ball as well. Not only that, but big man Jackson Hayes also positions himself over in the far left corner. He then moves to hand the ball off to Max Christie, who fires a 3. Even though Christie's shot didn't fall, these are the kinds of looks the Lakers want. There was one big problem on opening night, though. Not only did Christie's shot not go down, but the Lakers only shot 5 of 30 from downtown, just under 17%. They were ice cold. But for a coach like JJ Redick, he had a plan B ready to go just in case this happened. When the trays aren't falling, what do? Start attacking in the paint. And the Lakers did just that. Ice-cold shooting may have been a storyline on opening night, but second chance points was another one. Under JJ Redick, the Lakers won't be just a shooting team, but they'll also be a physical team down low if they have to be. On opening night, they snagged 15 offensive rebounds, scored 19 points off Wolves' turnovers, and racked up an eye-popping 72 points in the paint. With big physical players like Jackson Hayes, Anthony Davis, LeBron, and others, the Lakers have the size to complement their outside shooters. The opening night win over Minnesota was unique. The Lakers were taken directly out of their game plan and still found a way to get the job done by crashing the glass and getting out and running. They carried their momentum into a Game 2 of the season against Phoenix, but the Lakers soon found themselves down by as many as 22 points in the second half before they got out and ran with the basketball and used a 20-6 run to take control of the game. LA's win over Phoenix didn't see the Lakers use much screening like they did on opening night. Instead, they used ball movement, the extra pass, and fast break points to cut into the Suns' lead and eventually win the game. Let's take a look at one of the key players from this game. In this play, late in the fourth quarter, the Lakers were up 6 and looking to complete a massive comeback. LA may have won on opening night using tons of ball screens and flowing offense, but in this case, the Lakers simply took advantage of the Suns trying to key in on LeBron and cover the paint. Everyone is trying to clog the lane down in the post. LeBron is crowded, and the Suns were likely trying to force him into a turnover. But even though LeBron was crowded, Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura both wait for a possible catch and shoot on either side of the arc. This is just bad defense by the Suns. Sometimes teams accidentally leave a player open for an uncontested 3 while guarding the post. But in no world is it ever a smart decision to leave 2 possible shooters open from downtown. This is basically the basketball version of selling out. In football, teams often bring everybody on a blitz to sack an opposing quarterback. But if the quarterback sees the blitz and there's no one covering a wide open receiver, he can make the defense pay. LeBron is the quarterback in this play. He knows they're trying to pressure him into making a mistake with the basketball, but he has the awareness and passing ability to back down his defender. And then he swings it out to a wide-open Hachimura, who splashes home an uncontested tray, which essentially iced the game. So if the league's best defense and a 22-point deficit can't shut down the Lakers, what can? Unfortunately for the Kings, they wouldn't get it done either. Sacramento looked like they were on the verge of stealing one on the road, but then they ran into vintage LeBron. He's 39 years old and still managed to put up a triple-double. But before the King took the game over, there were flashes of Coach Reddick's new offensive system, particularly on this play here. In this play, the screens aren't as noticeable like they were on opening night, but they're still there. With LA down by 7 at the start of the fourth quarter, Jackson Hayes starts with the ball, while LeBron and Dalton Knecht use screens to move into position. LeBron splits the defense to get near the basket, while Knecht slips behind Hayes. At this point, Sacramento doesn't know what's about to hit them. If you watch closely, after he uses the screen to get himself into position to take the shot, Knecht gets a well-hidden handoff from Hayes, and then splashes home a key bucket. The Lakers defeated the Kings by using a variety of approaches, from Coach Reddick's new offensive system based around movement and the screen, to the extra pass, to LeBron taking over. And it's led them to their best start since 2010, when Kobe, Paul Gasol, and Lamar Odom led the way. Even though they recently suffered their first loss on October 28th to the Suns, this team still looks like they could be a legit contender in the Western Conference, and perhaps beyond that. If the Lakers stay true to JJ Redick's new formula of using screens, multiple actions, and multiple passes to find open looks, they'll be tough for anyone to beat this season. But what does the rest of the league think about this year's new-look Lakers and their rookie head coach? Kendrick Perkins, along with Brian Windhorst and the guys at the Hoop Collective podcast, were all impressed by the Lakers' hot start. But even though we've been talking about JJ Redick and what he brings to the team with X's and O's, that wasn't the big topic of discussion. Instead, the big topic of discussion was Anthony Davis and how he's been the focal point of the new offensive system. AD has looked incredibly dominant. He's been averaging 33 points and 12 rebounds, a double-double through the team's first 4 games. Kendrick Perkins thinks AD is showing this toughness early.
What a win by the Los Angeles Lakers. At halftime of the countdown, I said, you know what, the Phoenix Suns are going to win. The Phoenix Suns had a rhythm. They had 21 assists. It looked like they were unstoppable.
Yep.
All of a sudden, here come Anthony Marshawn Davis Jr., LeBron James, and Austin Reeves. Anthony Davis, to follow up on his Game 1 performance and consistently come into Game 2 and say, you know what, I'm going to dominate both ends. And the thing with AD with me is about him getting into the paint.
Yep.
He is resilient when it comes down to touching the paint, finishing around the basket. I tell you what, down 22, a gutsy win by the Los Angeles Lakers.
The Hoop Collective's Tim McMahon and Tim Bontemps also marveled at AD's spectacularly hot start.
The AD obviously is off to a hell of a start. The Lakers won that game despite him being minus 22. But hey, 3-0 Lakers, and AD is averaging what, like 36 right now?
He's scored over 30 in all 3 games.
I don't care what his plus minus was in that game on Saturday, because to me, the whole story the first week of the season for them Anthony Davis is averaging 34 points, 11 rebounds on 57% shooting from the field. If he is going to play in that kind of ballpark going forward, we're talking about the Lakers in a much different light than we have been the last couple of years. Because when AD is playing like this, when he's a certified top 10 player in the league, the Lakers are a team that you have to reckon with in the league. And the biggest question really throughout Anthony Davis's career has been an inability to play like this on a consistent basis. And I'll give JJ Redick a lot of credit. From the moment he's gotten into this job, the thing he's talked about is running stuff through Anthony Davis, making Anthony Davis a focal point, doing everything he can to optimize him. It's only 3 games. There's a long way to go, but he has looked phenomenal. And if he can continue to play like this, the Lakers are going to be a dangerous team in the West.
People have sometimes questioned AD's toughness and his ability to be the focal point in a powerful lineup. But ever since JJ Redick was hired back in June, one of his biggest goals was to get Anthony Davis involved with everything the team is doing offensively. And right now, Anthony Davis may just be playing the best he ever has in his entire career. Things are finally clicking. AD's hot start has forced defenses to play a deadly game of pick your poison. If they try to key in on him, Davis could swing the ball out to Dalton Knecht, Max Christie, Austin Reeves, or any other talented shooter. But someone else has also benefited from JJ Redick's new offensive system and AD's explosive start: LeBron. King James's prime days may be behind him. He'll be 40 years old on December 30th, but that doesn't mean that he still can't take games over if he has to. Since teams are so focused on slowing down AD, that takes the pressure off LeBron and allows him to operate a lot easier. In a win over the Kings, LeBron went off in the fourth quarter. He scored 16 during money time, but he probably could have had more. He even got mad at Rui Hachimura when Rui didn't get him the ball in the fourth quarter of the win over the Kings.
Effort, the Lakers up by 11.
Swing, swing. As we speak, some company in LA is printing t-shirts. They're going to sell out overnight. This may as well be LeBron's catchphrase at this point in his career. At this point in his 22nd season in the league, LeBron is averaging 20 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists per game. Those are solid numbers when you consider how long he's been playing this game. But he just might have a legit chance to win his 5th championship. And the best part about it all? He doesn't have to take games over to keep the Lakers in it. He's not forced to take over games like he often had to do during his time in Cleveland. He also sometimes had to do that in Miami too. If LeBron does take over a game, it'll be because he's simply having a great night. There's not as much pressure on his shoulders to drag a team across the finish line. So many times in the past, LeBron had to drag subpar rosters to victory. Remember the 2007 Cavs? That was just one of many teams that would have never made it as far as they did without him. With this Lakers team as it's currently built, he won't have to do that anymore. LeBron can play multiple roles, enjoy the game more, and have one final chance to hold the Larry O'Brien trophy before he rides off into the sunset. But can the 2024 Lakers reach their full potential? And what happens if they do? The season is still very young, but if JJ Redick, LeBron, AD, and the rest of the Lakers want to bring home the next NBA championship, teams like OKC, Phoenix, Boston, and perhaps even Cleveland could stand in their way. But even so, the Lakers are a balanced team. They have both youth and experience, as well as physicality and shooting touch. And they're built to handle any type of ball game. If they're facing the league's best defenses, JJ Redick's new system can open up new looks and opportunities. If the shots aren't falling, they can toss the ball into the paint where Hayes, AD, or LeBron could do some damage. And if they're forced to play old-fashioned one-on-one and win those individual matchups, they have as much talent as any team in the NBA. The Lakers seem to have all the pieces in place. The one big question that they'll have to answer as the rest of the season goes on is this: if the Lakers do make the playoffs next spring, can JJ Redick coach well in huge games? If he can, there's no reason the Lakers couldn't seriously compete for and even win an NBA championship. What do you think? Do the Lakers have what it takes to bring home the hardware this year? Let us know in the comments. And while you're here, check out our other videos like this one and smash the like and subscribe button. From all of us here at Shooter's Touch, thanks for watching.